Set to go, first pitch. High and inside. Kirsten Deal in the circle for Oklahoma. Haley Morrow, the sophomore from Las Vegas, Nevada, has become the everyday catcher for BYU, but today is playing shortstop. That's by trade what she is, a middle infielder, Natasha, but she stepped up to play catcher when BYU needed one, and that has become her full-time job. But now with the absence of Agbayani, she's going to be plugged in at short.
Yeah, and you just love to see the versatility, and especially on instances like this when a player goes down, and just to have the depth in your lineup, it's huge. I mean, she was called upon to be a catcher, had never done it before.
Towering pop-up. Riley Boone spots it, puts it away. '21st appearance on the season for Kirsten Deal, and almost flawless. 11-1 on the year, 1.53 ERA. Last 12 starts, 11-0. Check out the ERA, under 0.40.
Well, her last name is so fitting, right? Kirsten Deal. I mean, I love the way she approaches the game. She's a young pitcher. She's a sophomore. She's got that curve, which we saw her throwing tomorrow. She's throwing that curve inside to righties, trying to jam them. She'll go with that back door that will hover on inside to lefties and outside to righties, and she's got an incredible rise, which we see right there.
Ahead in the count against Maddie Bejarano. 78 degrees here. Wind blowing in slightly, but you couldn't ask for a better day. Not much movement from the old Stars and Stripes. Right down Main Street. First strikeout of the day.
Kirsten Deal just establishing this backdoor curve early, and this is just a pitch. If you are BYU Cougars, if you are those lefties, this is a pitch that you need to be hunting, and definitely with 2 strikes too close to take.
61st strikeout of the year for Deal. Brings up Zavadnik, hitting 400 on the season. We talked about that. Second all-time for the Cougs. BYU with an RPI of 48 heading into this game. A win would really give them a good shot at making the NCAA tournament.
Yes, and they would love to make a case to be an at-large bid, and be a representative of the Big 12 tournament and postseason.
And they've shown they can do it this year. Yesterday's victory over Oklahoma State, as we see a foul ball. Pino in the area makes an amazing catch. Solo home run and 3 runs yesterday in their huge win against early in the day over Kansas. Kamoku fields it cleanly, 1 up, 1 down. Gianna Mares in the circle for BYU. 28th appearance on the season. 5.89 ERA. Big responsibility today. She did start the game when they beat Oklahoma on April 12th.
Yeah, some big keys for Mars is to get ahead, and you saw that with Jada Coleman just going right at. She's got that good drop. She'll throw it on both sides of the plate. She's got a great changeup and a decent curve as well.
Ella Parker was named a top 10 finalist for the D1 Freshman of the Year award on Thursday, and then promptly went out just after that. Went 2 for 2 with 2 runs, 2 doubles, and 2 RBIs.
I mean, just her approach to her at-bats. I mean, she's just a freshman, and just how she approaches her at-bat, she's got such a great understanding of the strike zone and what she's hunting.
I hear they have quite the talent pool out there in Southern California.
Well, yeah, I'm a little bit biased, you know.
.30 pitch. Breaking ball, finds a way. Counts full. Steve Gould calling the balls and strikes today.
And that's the changeup that we can see from Mars. And if she can get that established all day long in that spot, she's going to be money.
Deep into right field. Agbayani can just turn around and watch it. She's turned into a spectator, and we are all in awe of Ella Parker. 11th home run of the year for the freshman sensation.
I mean, we talk about a professional hitter, and I mean, it doesn't get more professional than that. Taking 3 balls, that 3-2 count, she just watched that changeup. She come to that same spot again and just crushes it. Oklahoma up 1-0.
There is electricity in this stadium tonight. Oklahoma outscoring their opponents 91-14 in the first inning. They scored 5 runs in the first inning against Kansas. That was yesterday, picking up where they left off. Tiara Jennings. Another 3-0 count. And we've got a conversation in the circle. How important is it right now, Natasha, that the damage is minimized? I mean, we just saw Oklahoma's numbers, right? Outscoring opponents 91-14 in the first inning.
Well, it's, you know, establishing the strike zone early in the count. You know, Coach Eakin talked about that coming into this tournament, is that's the important keys for BYU is pitching. It's being able to allow them to do what they do at the plate. We know that they have the hitters, and so being behind 3-0, got to get ahead early.
Mares misses. Jennings heads to first. Brings up Alyssa Brito, who had a beautiful play to end the top of the first in foul territory. See if she can do it with a bat. Jennings down the line at first with 2 stolen bases. Oklahoma has drawn walks on 17% of their plate appearances. That is an eye-opening stat, because guess what? There's a whole other 83% where they have the potential to get on base other ways.
Right, and when you think of Oklahoma, you just think about how much they hit and how much power they possess, and that just goes to tell you just how disciplined they are at the plate. They do a magnificent job of staying off pitches they don't want to hit.
Brito hits sharply just over the outstretched arm of Morrow, who does knock it down, keeps it from becoming an extra base hit, but the runners are on first and second.
Just Burrito just lays into this. This is a laser. Looks like it was almost like a rising line drive, and that's just tough to put a glove on.
And no knock on Morrow, but you're talking about a space where Ivana Agbayani would usually be, and next level athlete, maybe she makes that catch. Sooners were 5 for 11 yesterday with runners in scoring position. Table is set for Kinsey Hansen. Right back up the middle. Nice stop by Mars. Gets the out. 2 down. Sooners needed that badly. Excuse me, BYU needed that badly.
Yeah, and that's just a big out right there. Kinsey Hansen, we talk about her. She's in the 5 spot, but she's well batting over 400, and just a great lineup from 1 through 9. You don't get a hitter off, and so a big out for BYU.
Cassidy Pickering. .374 on the year. Hitting .404 with runners in scoring position. Inside strike.
This backdoor curve is perfect placement.
Mares goes upstairs. Counts even at 2-2. Freshman from Tucson, Arizona in the circle, trying to deal her way out of trouble. 2-2. That was close.
I don't know. I mean, that's too close of a pitch to take with 2 strikes, and Mars is just trying to find the zone, and she's just laughing. That's all you can do. You got to worry about next pitch now.
And here comes that next pitch, and it is the payoff pitch. Fouled straight back. Myers is no dummy. She's a biology major. And she has shown the skills all season long, especially in April, when she was able to help spark that victory against Oklahoma. She's been here before. Hansen. Opposite field. 2 runs come home to score for Pickering.
Cassidy Pickering so good with 2 strikes. I mean, this 3-2 count pitch is just up in the zone. It's elevated, and just goes to show you these hitters can hit balls in all zones. And she picks up a 2-run RBI right there. She's .304 batting average with 2 strikes.
What does that say about a hitter?
That she's tough. I mean, just with 2 strikes, she's tough. And you think a lot of hitters are down and they feel like they're out of the at-bat with 2 strikes, but that's not the case with her.
Launched into right field by Torres. Was hit so sharply that she could only get 1 out of it. But the inning continues.
Melina Torres just going right side with this, just keeping it simple, hitting behind the runner.
Pickering at second, Torres at first in the batter's box. Riley Boone. 5'3" senior has been electric at the plate and in the field, hitting .421 on the season, and one of the more fun players to watch in all of college softball.
It's just so fun to watch. I mean, she's so animated, and anytime she can get her team going, she's got some action to follow and a lot of energy.
If she could get any cooler, she's got those Terminator shades on, but that at bat is terminated by Mares. When BYU won 9-4 in Norman in front of 4,400 fans at the beautiful Love Field. Pete Souza alongside Natasha Watley, the gold medal winner. And there is that loss we talked about that I'm sure the Cougars are going to try to lean on now as they put together a comeback, or try to. That was Oklahoma's first home loss since 2017.
That is just wild to think. I mean, just talk about protecting your home, and the Sooners definitely do that. And for BYU, that was huge. I mean, for them, what it allowed to do is it built belief.
It absolutely did, as we see that one by Ava fouled out of play, and it was one of their 3 wins against top 10 opponents this season. The Avas travel well, and they also dress well. Mom and Dad right there.
So cute. I love it. Love it.
We can only hope that's part of the NIL package. 1-2 pitch. Ava works it full.
And this pitch is her drop on the outside. Just trying to paint that corner, but not getting it.
Overpowered. Just an absolutely beautiful pitch. Kirsten Deal, dealing.
Yeah, what makes Deal so great is just her ability to go in on righties. This rise ball has an angle and a break towards Ava, and that's just difficult to hit when it's coming at you like that.
Kirsten Deal is 11-0 in her last 11 starts and has held the opponents to a .37 ERA.
She's just a sophomore, and she's so focused and so driven. And earlier, you know, her freshman year, she was just getting in her head a little bit, but now is just coming and settled into her own.
Oopsie. Goes down the right first baseline. Alea Agbayani. And there is her sister Ilana Agbayani out of the lineup today with an injury. A key element of the BYU attack on the shelf. Let's see what her sister can do in her absence. Ilana had 4 hits against the Sooners in that win in April.
That's just a big piece of their team. I'm sure, you know, just a huge momentum shift for them coming into the start of this game, knowing that they didn't have her to start.
sisters, natives of Hawaii. Of course, Dad Benny Agbayani mentioned it yesterday. Doesn't have to pay for a drink in New York City. I can promise you that was a huge part of the Mets' '99 postseason run and 2000 World Series run. He came to play in the postseason, and now it is a postseason time for his girls. And with Ilana on the right, on the bench with that injury, let's see what Ilana can do. Payoff pitch is low. She's the first base runner of the day for the Cougs. Much needed.
And that's just a big time walk right there. I mean, for hitters to be able to see a lot of pitches, that just breeds confidence in your lineup. It's a big at bat for Aaliyah Agbayani.
Brings up Lily Owens. Two for 4 yesterday with 2 runs and an RBI. On the season, hitting .353. Foul straight back. Do you feel like the Cougars are kind of catching up a little bit timing-wise to deal?
Yeah, I mean, you can feel that they're having some quality at bats. They're seeing the ball deep. Some good foul tips right there from Lily Owens.
Let's see what Owens can do. Right-handed batters hitting just .130 off of deal this season. She check swing fouls it away. Oh-2 pitch coming. Another check swing. First base umpire Megan Rabin says she did not go. And down the line at first is Ilana Agbayani. But the faceoff is at the plate. Chopper. Deal. Throws it into center field. The break BYU needed early.
And this could be the break that the Cougars need. This ball hit to Deal. She just doesn't have a good grip on it. Throws it away, and now we've got 2 runners on for the Cougars.
And the tying run at the plate. Maddie Udall. Foul away. Udall hitting .327 with runners in scoring position, .320 on the year. Flair, oh, an unbelievable catch. Torres snags it, gets it over to first. Double. The Sooners' batting average somewhat similar. The pitching has been the problem this year, Natasha.
Yeah, when you compare these 2 teams, their offensive numbers are not too far off. Yes, the Sooners definitely higher numbers in some of the hitting categories, higher batting average, but it's the difference to me, that stands out with that last stat is when teams hit against both these teams, BYU struggles.
Torres, right down Main Street. Talking to Coach Eakin the other day, I tried to tip my cap. I said, you guys have been aggressive and efficient in the circle. He said, those are 2 inaccurate statements.
Let me check you real quick.
Yeah, it wasn't a knock on his girls. It was simply that they've lost a couple of key pitchers prior to the season. You know, Huber's going to redshirt, and Korth injured out for the year, so they have made do. And Chloe Temples, who we'll probably see later today, has been a huge reason why that pitching staff has come together over the course of the past couple weeks.
Well, you appreciate the honesty, and it's all about knowing what you are and knowing what you're not. And I appreciated listening to that conversation because, you know, he's like, that's the thing that's going to keep us in ball games. And, you know, we all know how important pitching is, but we got to get it together in the circle.
It's not the first time a coach has told me to zip it. High and inside. 3-2 for Sanders. Speaking of coaches, there is probably the all-time best in the sport of college softball. Patty Gasso. Her reputation speaks for itself in her 30th year at OU. Pop-up battling the sun is Komoku. Earlier this year, and not that long ago, on April 27th in Orlando, Gasso notched her 1,500th win. Just the third NCAA coach ever to do so. And the 7 national championships. They're looking to win 4 straight. And we talked about that possibly being a pressure cooker situation for Oklahoma and may have led to some of those losses throughout the season, which have really become so rare in the Patty Gasso era.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a target on your back. And first time that we will ever see, you know, there's a potential of a 4-time national championship. We've never seen that. National champion, I'm sorry.
We have seen a 4 straight first-time All-American. That was you.
Oh, gosh.
Well, that's not easy. 1-1 pitch coming to Jada Coleman. Opposite field. Hit well. 2 down. You could say the Sooners program has really raised the bar, and other programs are now meeting it. Softball programs spending more money. We're seeing teams get better all over the country.
Well, you talk about Love's Field that they just built for Oklahoma Sooners, their home field.
Komoku at home we started Tuesday. Was it Tuesday? It was Wednesday with Kaylee Walkoff. Texas Tech ended with the game-winning home run as we see Hansen so skilled behind the plate. How do you think Macy Simmons is doing? I mean, she's filling in catcher tonight. It's not her natural position.
Hey, you got to rise to the occasion. I mean, these are the moments you live for. Any opportunity to contribute and help your team. These are what these athletes are all about. And hey, I haven't got in a while or all year. Hey, let's go for it.
If you're just joining us, some reshuffling of the deck for BYU prior to the game, with Ailana Agbayani being ruled out with an injury sustained yesterday. That moves Morrow, the catcher, to shortstop, as we see Ailana Agbayani in the dugout, and has Simmons behind the dish. Deal rings her up. 3rd strikeout of the afternoon.
Deal is just money with this rise. 3rd strikeout on the day.
side. She'll take first base.
And in these moments, getting hit by a pitch is sometimes a reward. I mean, just in these tight games, you see her take that. Not that anybody's ever happy to get hit, but when you know that that gives you a free base and she's pumped running down first base, you gotta love to see it.
Free swing in Bejarano. Swings and misses there. Yeah, Cougs need base runners. Plain and simple. However they can get it done. 10th hit batter of the season for Deal as we get a look at Bejarano going down 0-2. BYU would love a 2-out rally. Bejarano deep down the right field line. Out of play. She got all that one. Is that a one-off, or is that a reflection that BYU is maybe getting the timing down a little bit?
They're getting the timing down, but for me, if I am BYU, it's a big-time pitch selection right now. If they can see the ball down, they're swinging at a lot of balls that are up in the zone over their head.
Barrels up again. Goes up and comes right down into the glove of Pick. In tonight's game, RPI #1 Texas against RPI 18 Baylor. And Baylor is really playing for the possibility of hosting next weekend in the first round of the NCAA tournament. And Texas at the top of the heap. If Oklahoma can win and they can take off Texas in that final, possibly could they be #1?
Yeah. And you like to think about, you know, whoever wins this tournament, you know, if it does match up and Oklahoma does face Texas, Oklahoma wins tourney, they do have an opportunity to be that #1 seed, and whoever wins the tourney out of the two of them most likely would get that #1 seed, and you want to have that #1 seed. Better schedule, better matchups.
Technicality there. Technicality, technical issue, no pun intended, but
Equipment.
yeah, equipment change. Maras has settled down. Gave up 3 in the bottom of the 3rd. Got in and out of last inning. But now down to the count 3-0. Tiari Jennings will do that to you. Jennings talking this week about the Sooners' practices. Just talking about how they were blue collar before they got to the tournament. There was just a lot of competition in practices. Remember, they lost 2 of 3 in Bedlam at home last week. And she said, hey, we are really coming together as a team. And her quote that I love said, you can tell something's happening here.
Yeah, and I mean, even just the 7 games going into last weekend between that, the Oklahoma State series, she was struggling at the plate. She was just not being Tiari Jennings like just what we're used to seeing. And I mean, if that's even a slump at all, I mean, a slump for her, we're used to seeing her hitting a ton. And so you can start to feel it. You know, Sooners are seeing the ball, they're swinging big, executing at the plate.
3-1 pitch. Jennings looks at strikes 2. Late last month against UCF, she jacked her 90th career home run. That made her just the 8th player in NCAA history to accomplish such a feat. Payoff pitch. Beats it to short. Morrow scoops it up and gets it down the line to Udall. 1 down. Morrow filling in admirably for Agbayani.
And for Morrow, it's like riding the bike, right? She was recruited as a middle infielder and hasn't played there in a while, has been catching, but hey, it's like just getting right back on.
I mean, that story's kind of nuts. She gets to campus as a middle infielder. BYU, this is a power program. Gordon Eakin has made 16 NCAA tournaments. He's in his 22nd year here on campus. But they were without a catcher because of injuries and a depleted roster. Hey, who can play catcher? And she raises her hand, says me.
It's incredible.
She's back at shortstop today with, again, the retooling of the lineup with Agbayani out. Playing with a much smaller glove today.
Good thing she packed it.
2-0 pitch. Brito back up the middle. Dings it off the leg of Mares. Trying to make a play. Kamoku throws it away. Costly error. Runner in scoring position with the Sooners.
Just a battle for Brito, but Kamoku on this play, getting to it cleanly, but just on this play, you gotta feel the play, and just on that, you may want to eat it. Don't have wasted throws.
And Monarchs will turn it over. Gordon Eakin. How does a freshman like Daly approach a senior standout like Kinsey Hansen in an environment like this, in a situation like this?
Go with your stuff. I mean, go right at, get ahead in the count, move that ball through the zone.
Catches the outside corner. Natasha, you're up here nodding your head. You like that?
I'm like, just like that, go right at.
I'm stealing that from you. I like that. Oh, one pitch coming to the defensive player of the year, Kinsey Hansen. K9 fouled straight back. This is the first 0-2 count for any Oklahoma batter today. Simmons keeping Brito honest at second base. Hansen hitting 386 with 2 strikes. 1-2 pitch coming. Hit down the line, out of play.
But this is what you like to see from Dolly. I mean, coming in, getting Kinsey behind, getting her 0-2, now 1-2, throws that changeup. Kinsey fouls it off. And if she can go back to that first pitch, her curve, and really rip it through the zone, that would be how I would try to set her up. But the umpire needs a call. That's the pitch right there. I mean, that's exactly what she's going for. That's her best stuff right there.
She has the game in her blood. Her brother Nate, drafted by the Tampa Ray Devil Rays. Two pitch, just off the glove of Kamoku, and coming around to score is Brito. And the sounds of Sooner Nation saying boomer. 4-0 Oklahoma.
Hansen just so good. I mean, seeing these back-to-back curveballs, she's not going to miss this second one. Just drives it to the right side. Such great hands. It's a beautiful hit.
Second RBI of the Big 12 tournament for Hansen. Cassidy Pickering. One down in the bottom of the third. Pete Souza with the gold medal winner, Natasha Watley. First of two we're going to bring you today. OGE Energy Field at Devon Park. Off and running, and Hansen slides in safe. K9, the Defensive Player of the Year, swipes a bag.
Okay, Kenzie Hansen, I see you, girl. But you gotta wonder if that was a hit and run. Pickering swings at that pitch, or just protecting her. I'm for it all.
Coming up next, BYU and Texas in the semifinals. Our nightcap here from the softball capital of the world. Baylor, check that, in Texas. Forgive me. Kane coming around to score is Hansen. Pickering delivers once again.
You just got to tip your cap to Coach Gasso on run production. She has Kenzie Hansen still, and you know with just the bat with Pickering, she's got so much power. Getting a runner into scoring position, huge.
Brings up Torres, who singled to right. Ball gets away, goes to the backstop, and getting down to second base is Pickering. Runner in scoring position. Quick conversation for BYU. OU 3 of 5 with runners in scoring position today. One out in the bottom of the third. The freshman, Katie Daly, taking the pitch clock to the limit. Is she quite possibly overthrown there?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I mean, I feel like she is just trying to force it in there. And, you know, when she first came in, she was just ripping it through the zone. But then once you start to give up those hits, you start to be careful. You try to force it in there, and you start to overthrow.
Runners on first and second. Riley Boone coming to the plate. This is probably one of the only times you will ever hear two players in college softball with Elvis Presley walk-up songs. Riley Boone with Jailhouse Rock and Haley Morrow on the other side of that. I'm not exactly sure what that Elvis Presley song is, but looks like it quite possibly could be Happy Trails for Katie Daly. Who could it be now? We're running the same thing. But we do have a Cougar coming out, and this is a huge change. Chloe Temples checking into the game. So efficient for this Cougar. All business for Riley Boone. Big cut, swinging out of her shoes, 0-1. 421 on the season for the senior.
take a look at the defense. They are playing very shallow for that Boone speed.
Almost a good setup to pick off a foul ball. First 0-2 count for Daly since she came in the game. Had her first batter down 0-2, and Boone works it to 1-2. One-two coming from Temples. Looped into center field, coming over, making a nice play, covering a lot of ground is Zavodnik. Had a great jump on that.
And that's an important out right there, just stopping momentum. You know what Boone is capable of with her speed to keep this offense going. So for Temples to come in and enforce that fly ball, that's an important out right there.
Avery Hodge coming to bat. Pinch hitting for Sanders. The sophomore from Richmond, Texas. Torres down at first, 2 outs. Chloe Temples, who was turned into the Cougars' ace, coming on in relief, trying to shut him down.
Avery Hodge, who is more of a short gamer, has, as of recent, been trying to work on more of her power game. One-0 pitch. Sliding safely into third base, checked out, out at third. Pickering is gunned down. Back in the softball capital of the world, where the Sooners are up 5-0 on the Cougs in the Big 12 softball semifinals. We are joined now by legendary coach Patty Gasso. Coach, earlier this week, it was said that you guys had really tough practices. Tiari Jennings said there was more competition. It had sort of a blue-collar feel. Has that obviously spilled over onto the field?
I think so. They responded really well. I mean, we've been playing with a lot of heaviness on us, and when you have a heavy mind, you have heavy body, heavy legs, and we just tried to make it a little more joyful. And when you compete with them, they have a great time, and they talk a little trash, and it kind of got them right back to where a lot of things have gone into getting us back where we needed to go. So that was part of it.
Love it. Just the Cougars offense, they're offensively strong, and you know, you've got a 5-0 lead. I don't know if is that safe to you, but with your approach, defensively with their pitching, what's their approach today facing the Cougars?
Just working around the zone, changing speeds. I think Kirsten Deal's doing a great job with that right now. Just trying to feed the infield, keep the ball in the park. So far, so good.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get back to it. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Patty Gasso has really written the record book in college softball, and the Sooners dominant under her. 22 Big 12 titles, 80 All-Americans, 6 College World Series appearances, and 7 Women's College World Series titles.
Yeah, what stands out to me, I mean, obviously the titles are great, but those 80 All-Americans, I mean, she's so big on player development and just grooming a player once they get to her program and making sure they're not only top-notch on the field. I mean, yes, All-American, that proves they're great athletes, but great women that leave her program.
Would have been amazing to see if she could have gotten it going a little bit sooner. I mean, she really couldn't have as far as timing is concerned, but maybe Natasha Wiley would have made a different decision, because the two of you going back and forth before we came on air, it's obvious there's quite a connection there. And I got to tip my cap to you, because you're a legend in the game, and you are so humble that when I'm with you, I'm like, oh yeah, just regular person. And every time we encounter another softball legend, they're like, oh my gosh, it's Natasha Watley, stop. So pretty cool to have you back here in the softball capital of the world, where you get a lot of love, and it is earned when you look at that resume.
It's fun to be around this environment. I mean, it's just given so much to all of us, and so many of my teammates and friends, you know, we just give a lot to this game, and it's given so much to us.
What can Violet Zavodnik give to the BYU effort right now? That is the question. Ahead in the count, 3-1. Popped up. Jada Coleman makes it look easy. Shadows starting to set here in Oklahoma City. And the sand running through the hourglass on BYU. Hunter Ava. Brito lays out in her second brilliant play of the day.
When you are watching the Sooners, they don't ever let you breathe. And if you are the Cougars right now, you're like, can we just catch a break? I mean, this play is magnificent. I mean, this is hard hit to Brito's left side, and she just goes for it. And comes up with a big out.
6 pitches, 2 outs for Kirsten Deal. Agbayani back at the plate, walked in her first appearance. Quick conversation as Alea Agbayani is ahead in the count, 2-0. Her sister Ilana out of the game today with an injury sustained yesterday. A huge hole for BYU. And there is Ilana, who had 4 hits the last time she played Oklahoma, or should I say when the Cougs beat Oklahoma. They won 1 of 3 in Norman earlier this year, and Ilana was a huge reason they did so. Nine to 4 on April 12th. First win versus the top 2 team since 2014 for the Cougs. And they have beaten 3 top 10 opponents this season, so they have what it takes to charge back. Second walk of the day for Alea Agbayani. Pinch runner is Jalen Lambert. Lambert can move. 19 runs on the season. Would love to make it 20 and help BYU get back in this. Lily Owens could be the key to her rounding the bases. .351 on the season for Owens. Puts a charge in it. Coming over to make the play in foul territory is Pickering. BYU Coach, thanks so much for taking a moment to chat with us. You've not been able to muster a hit offensively. How do you tell your team, or how would you like them to approach getting on and getting back in this one against Kirsten Deal?
Well, we did a little bit better that half inning. We got to lay off that high pitch. We got to take that rise ball away from her, and we did a little bit better with that last inning. So we got to continue to do that, and we got to stay resilient. We got to keep at it.
Right now, you guys are down 5-0, and I still feel like you have a lot of room. There's still a lot of time. How do you approach this in the pitching circle?
Well, I mean, when we lost Ilana to that great tarp thing down there yesterday, it kind of changed the way we were approaching today's game on the hill. So we're going to need Chloe to really have a great outing here to hopefully finish this game and keep us in the ball game while we try to scratch out some runs.
All right, Coach, we'll let you get back to it. Thanks for sharing the time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
So Coach Eakin addressing the elephant in the room.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big miss for the Cougars. I mean, Agbayani, I mean, she really leads this team both offensively and defensively, like we saw yesterday. You know, I talked about it in the open, literally running through walls for her team. She's a big leader, and she just brings so much.
Well, this is how she was lost. An amazing play that Coach Eakin just referenced. We'll show it to you after this pitch as Avery Hodge digging in.
And if you can see, when she caught it, she just didn't have any more room for any more steps. And as soon as she caught it, she had a hard impact with the wall, and she goes straight down. It was a scary moment here in the stadium yesterday when she went down.
And talking to Coach Eakin, had to be an agonizing decision that they made about an hour, 45 minutes before game time. And that's the tarp he was referencing. As if Oklahoma needed any help. Time is called. And order now is restored. Chloe Temples. So Hodge draws the walk. Another base runner for Oklahoma. First in the bottom of the fourth with nobody out. Turns the lineup over, and the senior sensation, Jada Coleman, one of the 10 seniors that Coach Patty Gasso calls quite possibly the best senior class in college softball history. Coleman flirting with 400. Homered yesterday, breaking ball. Over for a strike.
And this is Chloe's changeup. She just takes a little something off of it. It's great placement.
Perfect. Runners advance, crowd roars. Jada Coleman doing her thing.
I mean, Jada Coleman just so dynamic. Yesterday she hits a home run. Today she's dropping bunts, showing off that speed. I mean, just so hard to defend. And this is just so suffocating. I mean, just they're capable of doing so much, and they just keep going. It's so suffocating for the Cougars, right?
potential run rule at the plate in the form of the freshman Ella Parker, who has homered already today. Coleman at first, Hodge at second. One of the best freshmen in the country at the plate. Just misses. Count goes 0-2. .398 on the season for Parker. 12 home runs. Hitting .400 with runners in scoring position. Down the right field line. The freshman produces again and produces another run. 6-0 OU.
Ella Parker, she is locked in. This is hit number 5 in the tourney. And this looking like beach balls right now. So powerful.
Yesterday she was named Freshman of the Year Award finalist, one of the top 10 in the running. And she responded by having a huge day, going 2 for 2 with a walk, 2 runs, a double, and an RBI, 2 RBIs. And today she has picked up where she left off. Pitch. Count goes full. Quick conference. Chloe Temples working on finding her rhythm. Tough to get in sync when you're playing a lineup like this. And again, we talked about it off the top. BYU playing for a postseason berth
on Selection Sunday.
Oklahoma stubbing their toe at times this year, and that's unique when you're a college softball superpower like the Sooners. Maybe on a bit of a revenge tour in the postseason. .3-1 coming to Jennings. Bases loaded now for Brito.
Chloe Temples not sure about this pitch. You know, where is it? Just trying to get some feedback on how can I be better? How can this be better?
Brito comes out aggressive. You don't see the Sooners swing at too many first pitches, but she's trying to supercharge this environment, which already electric as she walked to the plate. Bases loaded. 16 home runs for Brito on the season. 52 RBIs. 2 singles already today. Temples. Rise ball misses, even at 1-1.
Keep the energy up.
Zone is really, really tight. Just trying to get that outside corner.
Let's see if she can find it. Hitters count. BYU's backs against the wall. 6-0, bases loaded, bottom of the 4th. 3-1 pitch coming. Brito in the box with all the power in the world. Huge cut. Can you blame her?
Absolutely not. I mean, any hitter in the world on this count, swing big. Love the smile.
The super senior pokes it into left field. 1 run will score. 2 runs will score. 8-0 Oklahoma.
She just makes it look so easy. I mean, we saw her swinging hard that pitch before, but her second hit of the day, 2-run RBI. She just keeps these Sooners going.
'54 RBIs now on the season for Brito. Temples will continue to fight. And the next round starts right now against Kinsey Hansen. 1 for 2 on the afternoon, hitting .418. RBI single in her last at bat. Strokes it into left field. Coming around to try to score is Jennings. She'll stand up and cross the plate. 9-0 Sooners.
We talked about how hitting can be so contagious. And Kinsey just feeding off of Brito and all of her other teammates, just roping this in the 5-6 hole. Picking up an RBI on the day.
And Gordon Eakin going to go to his bullpen. Tough afternoon for BYU. And Akura is the pinch hitter. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 4th. The sophomore from Yorba Linda, California. Beats it down the left field line. Owens gets the force out. Check that, they'll call it a foul ball. Everybody goes back. Back up the middle, Core. Another run for Oklahoma. The lead is 10-0.
Hannah Core just doing a great job coming off the bench, being aggressive, hitting this ball right back up the middle, staying behind the ball. She picks up an RBI on the day. But if we took a look at Kinsey Hansen, we almost caught her sleeping at second.
Sooners up 10-0. The Leo is the pinch hitter.
Melissa Garcia, they have used her in the relief situations throughout the season, and she goes a lot to her changeup. She uses her drop on both sides of the plate.
Aguilar evens the count at 1-1. Love them on second, Core on first. Jacked into right field. Coming over to make the play, and a nice one is Lambert as she battles the sun.
Lilia showing off her versatility, running through the box on this. But runs through the box and just tees up on this. And off the bat, it almost looked like that was going to be out of here.
The crowd almost willed it to happen. And Maya Bland comes into the lineup for Oklahoma. Hitting .333 on the season. So now if you're BYU, you start to really think about that opportunity to make the postseason. Do you feel like they have what it takes to get in as far as your resume is concerned?
Absolutely. I mean, just talking about their top wins in Big 12, beating Oklahoma State, beating Oklahoma. They have some big wins on their side, so they can prove that they can beat these teams, that they belong there. I mean, I think just an unfortunate situation today, their big player going out. But besides that, I think that they have made a case for themselves.
It's always hard to get in the minds and the heads of the committee. Hey, well, the fact that Ailana Akbayani was out today, does that come into the picture when they start to consider BYU as a possibility? Also had some injuries to the pitching staff early in the year. And this is their first year in the Big 12. 3 wins over top 10 opponents. Hodge walked in her first appearance. Bases are loaded. Chance to make it a football score. I guess it's a football score right now, kind of. That's a touchdown and a field goal. Shadow setting in on OGE Energy Field at Devon Park. Aguilar, the junior from Tucson, Arizona, gets her second out of the inning. Almost had a third. Bejarano came up firing, but sliding safely across home plate is Ludlam. 11-0 Oklahoma. Sack fly for Hodge.
Bejarano, I mean, on this play, this is a big-time play right here. I mean, you see how deep she is, and you think she's going to throw through the cut, and she's firing this thing all the way home and almost to play at the plate. Had she just got the hop a little out, more out in front, that could have been a big out.
Could have been huge. Huge might be a stretch. Would have been impressive.
Yes, it would have been a big play.
Jada Coleman ahead in the count 2-0. Runners at second and third. Aguilar spins it. That was moving. Nice pitch, evens the count at 2-2, showing some of her best stuff there.
And that's her changeup, and she'll go to that often and just catches people off guard. That's a rainbow change.
Jada Coleman slaps it to second base. Kamoko loses her footing, loses the ball. Another run comes across for Oklahoma. Runners at the corners for Parker. Parker 2 for 3 on the day. A home run, a single, and 2 RBIs. Opportunity at more with the runners at the corners. Swinging away. Fouled away.
I mean, she is on it. That swing, I mean, you can feel that up here. I mean, she is taking some hacks today.
Playing her first postseason like a veteran. The freshman right at home at the softball capital of the world with her team up 12-0. Launched her 11th home run of the season in her first at bat of the day. Opposite field foul off the scoreboard. And you hear the ovation for a fan who snagged it off the wall and then off the carom, completes the play and hands it to a youngster. Parker drives it towards the gap over the head of Bejarano. 1 run scores. 3rd RBI of the day for the freshman. 13-0 Oklahoma.
And let's just make that 6 hits on the tournament. If you just take a look at her hands, I mean, these are a thing of beauty. Staying inside this ball, stays behind it. So effortless.
When you're in a rhythm like that, I don't care what year you are, freshman, senior, what is that like? And are you thinking about the fact that it might end soon because it's just going so well?
If anything, she should be taking notes of how she feels right now, because, you know, in those times of downtimes, if there are any downtimes for Ella Parker, it's just taking notes because it feels good. I mean, she is just seeing it big, and you can, it almost feels like time is slowing down for her and her takes are crisp. She's just having such great at-bats.
So you lean on these times of great success when you're in a slump, because that happens to all great players.
Absolutely. I mean, when you're having a slump, you cannot remember what it felt like. You're trying to think about your elbows and your knees and all these different things. You're trying to make all these adjustments. So, you know, I always tell athletes, you know, when you're feeling good, write it down, take some notes, journal it. How does it feel right now? What does the ball look like? What does your timing look like? How does the bat feel in your hands? I mean, just notice all those different things and be in tune to who you are as a hitter.
Sounds like a solid life lesson.
There you go. Write it down, journal it.
Well, Aguilar can write that down, because that strikeout's got to feel good. Out of the inning, but Deal has been sailing. Udall hits it deep to the warning track. Coleman tracks it down. You can read her lips, said, I just pulled my back.
She's such a pro. If you just take a look at Jada Coleman on this, I mean, off the bat, we thought, okay, that might be something, but I mean, just so much savvy, so calm, so cool, so collected. But then she mouths, I might have broke my back on that, but she makes it look easy.
Taryn Lennon is the pinch hitter for BYU. Down quickly in the count, 0-2. Fouled away. Continuing to fight is Lennon. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying, take a look.
No comment.
Hit foul. Lennon hitting .235 on the year. 61st pitch coming from Kirsten Deal. Fouled away. Deal, just a menacing presence in the circle tonight. Has won 11 of her last 12 starts. Is 11-0 with a sub .40 ERA in that span. Fouled straight back. Coach Gasso says she has taken a huge step forward this year. That's pretty obvious. Check swing, got her. Fourth strikeout of the day for Kirsten Deal. The sophomore from Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
This rise has just been money all day. I mean, she's just ripping it through the zone. Gets there. I think she swings.
Macy Simmons down 0-1. Deal's last complete game, April 27th at UCF. This is low and inside. Her teammates in the dugout have not been this quiet all afternoon long, and we can only imagine why.
Watching her throw a masterpiece.
One pitch away from history. The southpaw has been dominant in the circle today. Fouled away. A lot of red in the stands, and they're all standing. Deal. Flare falls. Macy Simmons breaks up the no-no. You see that? The face says it all, right?
Yeah, just her shaking her head like, you know, I mean, she wanted that.
Yeah, of course.
But Macy Simmons just keeping it alive. I mean, just what a way to battle for your team. I mean, just at that bat, you can just feel her battling and fouling off and fouling off. And Cougars just trying to hang on to something.
And the Leo in right field was ready to put her entire body on the line to make that happen. Haley Morrow in the box. Oh for 1, flew out. There it is, the one hit. Still more than likely an effort the sophomore will never forget.
But you just think about what this does for the Oklahoma pitching staff. I mean, just as they go on in postseason, just to be able to rely on an arm like Deal, you know that they have Keeney, Maxwell. It's just confidence.
Towering shot to center field. Gone! Coleman climbed the wall, but couldn't come down with it. Morrow says, hey, we're not done yet.
How about Morrow? I mean, just being out of her comfort zone, if we want to call it that. I mean, playing short today, having to step up big, but just stepping up big at the plate. I mean, this is huge. Backs against the wall. They have nothing to lose, and she's swinging big. This has got to be a moment for Morrow. Two-run home run.
Her 10th on the season. Signs of life from BYU. Brings up Bejarano. coming up 30 minutes after the conclusion of this one. Baylor and Texas. Longhorns, winners of 17 straight. 6 straight wins due to run ruling opponents. Be nice to see if Aaliyah Binford gets the call in the circle to try to stop that tonight.
Last night she was electric. I mean, just putting on a clinic, offensively and defensively.
Hit a home run. And of course, in the circle, her work spoke for itself. What's that like when you're sitting there waiting to play and the other game is going on? You just
get antsy. I definitely was one of those athletes that get antsy, like, let's go, come on. Is it time yet? Is it time yet?
Sooner Nation back on their feet. 1 strike away. Count goes full. Ground ball. Hodge gloves it and gets it over to Parker. The Sooners' batting average somewhat similar. The pitching has been the problem this year, Natasha.
Yeah, when you compare these two teams, their offensive numbers are not too far off. Yes, the Sooners definitely higher numbers in some of the hitting categories, higher batting average, but it's the difference to me, that thing that stands out with that last stat is when teams hit against both these teams, BYU struggles.
Torres, right down Main Street. Talking to Coach Eakin the other day, I tried to tip my cap. I said, you guys have been aggressive and efficient in the circle. He said, those are two inaccurate statements.
Let me check you real quick.
Yeah, it wasn't a knock on his girls. It was simply that they've lost a couple of key pitchers prior to the season. You know, Huber's going to redshirt and Korth injured out for the year. So they have made do. And Chloe Temples, who we'll probably see later today, has been a huge reason why that pitching staff has come together over the course of the past couple weeks.
Well, you appreciate the honesty, and it's all about knowing what you are and knowing what you're not. And I appreciated listening to that conversation because, you know, he's like, that's the thing that's going to keep us in ball games. And, you know, we all know how important pitching is, but we got to get it together in the circle.
It's not the first time a coach has told me to zip it. High and inside. 3-2 for Sanders. Speaking of coaches, there is probably the all-time best in the sport of college softball. Patty Gasso. Her reputation speaks for itself in her 30th year at OU. Pop-up battling the sun is Komoku. Earlier this year, and not that long ago, on April 27th in Orlando, Gasso notched her 1,500th win. Just the third NCAA coach ever to do so. And the 7 national championships. They're looking to win 4 straight. And we talked about that possibly being a pressure cooker situation for Oklahoma and may have led to some of those losses throughout the season, which have really become so rare in the Patty Gasso era.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a target on your back. And first time that we will ever see, you know, there's a potential of a 4-time national championship. We've never seen that. National champion, I'm sorry.
We have seen a 4 straight first-time All-American. That was you.
Oh, gosh.
Well, that's not easy. 1-1 pitch coming to Jada Coleman. Opposite field. Hit well. 2 down.